So last night was the official press conference for the brand new 46th Super Sentai series, Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. So we've been talking about Donbrothers here on the channel for a little bit of a good amount of time, from all of the different rumors and the leaks that now have been officially confirmed in even more capacity. We talked about the toys back in December and the suit designs, but now we have a lot of information, and a lot of toy information of course as well, to discuss. So let's go ahead and talk all about it here on Toku Talks today. If you would like to see the full reaction of me and my friends to the entirety of the Donbrothers press conference, without footage being included because copyright strikes and stuff, you can check out the full reaction stream that happened last night on the Toku Topics YouTube channel right now. Huge thanks to my buddies Corey, Chris, Liz, and Matt for coming out and being a part of that and everything. It was a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get right into this. The brand new Super Sentai series is less than a month away from airing here, which means we are going to be saying goodbye to Zenkaiger pretty soon, although, as you know from all the different leaks and everything, not too much is going to actually be going away. So of course the big conference here, the whole point of it really was to announce the cast members of Donbrothers, show off the trailer and everything like that. And this was a lot of fun, definitely kind of one of the more fun press conferences. I mean, they always go all out with these things for Rider and Sentai to try to make them as entertaining as possible here, and this was really cool. So of course you had the whole cast brought out on stage. They had big cardboard cutouts of their ranger forms, especially for Kiji Inu brother, which are of course both of them are just CGI characters for the most part. They had some fun with some different puns, which thanks to Matt for translating them last night. We never would have gotten what they were without him. So actually a lot of this we would not have understood without him. So huge thanks to him. And there was just a lot of fun stuff going on there. But of course we have the character names for our Donbrothers characters and the actors who are going to be portraying them. So of course first up we have the leader of the team, Don Momotaro, who has already made his cameo debut in Zenkaiger, being summoned by his Donbrothers Sentai gear. His character name is Taro Momoi, and he is going to be portrayed by the actor Kohei Higuchi. So this is pretty cool. This is obviously the same person who was voicing him in his Zenkaiger appearance, and he's probably going to have at least one more Zenkaiger appearance before the show wraps up here. Our next cast member is for our Saru brother, our Blue Ranger, so the monkey. But Saru brother's character is Shinichi Saruhara, and he's going to be played by Yuki Beppu. So pretty cool right there. Also, what's really interesting is that all of these cast members are for human, at least looking characters, which is not exactly what we were expecting, especially when we saw the suit designs for Kiji and Inu brother, which was, you know, with how crazy in size and scale and of course just functionality of those characters, we did not expect them to be human actors, especially after with Zenkaiger, where we only had, you know, 4 prominent human actors with Stacy, Kaito, Flint, and Zox, of course. Of course, we have Oni's sister, the only female member of the team, our Yellow Ranger, whose character name is Haruka Kito, portrayed by the actress Kohaku Shida. So this is really cool as well. I know I keep just saying that for all these cast members, but I think this cast is going to be a lot of fun. I think all of these characters' personalities are very interesting. You have Don Momotaro. He's going to be kind of following the whole, you know, Japanese story of Momotaro. He's going to show up from in a giant peach and everything like that. And of course, these are the other characters from the Momotaro story, the monkey and the dog and the, you know, the pheasant and all that kind of stuff there. Which, speaking of, we have probably my favorite cast member of this entire lineup here, Kiji brother, the giant lanky male Pink Ranger himself, whose character is Tsuyoshi Kijino, portrayed by the actor Hirofumi Suzuki. And I love this character right here. It's basically, he's going to be a salaryman character. Definitely the oldest member of the team here. Definitely giving me some Leto / Ultraman Zero vibes from how he's portrayed in Jeed. Definitely get that kind of vibe with him here, which is really cool that especially that he gets the weirdest looking ranger form of all of them. Or maybe you think the next one is the weirdest ranger form of all of them with Inu brother, which is definitely a very interesting one. Inu brother's character is Tsubasa Inuzuka, portrayed by Totaro, so that's of course just a stage name there, you know, just like a one-word title that, you know, some Japanese actors and stuff have, of course. So this is cool as well. He's going to be kind of this bad boy character. He's like a wanted criminal or something for some kind of crime. Very weird. So it's very interesting to me from the fact that my 2 favorite cast members, or at least the 2 that I think are probably going to maybe be the most interesting characters, are the 2 that have the weirdest suits, the weirdest non-traditional ranger suits. I mean, they all have some kind of unique thing to them. They're kind of like Q Ranger in that way, as we've discussed in the past, with, like, you know, of course, Saru Brothers, giant, like, you know, the fur all over him and everything like that. Of course, he has kind of a different thing going for him. Oni's sister is just the little horns. That's supposed to be her, like, unique thing. But for the most part, Oni's sister and Danmomotaro are pretty standard Sentai suit designs. So this was cool. This is really cool. I like this entire cast so far. They seem to be a lot of fun. They were really fun in the trailer and everything like that. Of course, they also brought out an extra cast member who's going to kind of be one of their support characters. He's not a ranger or anything like that. This character is Jin Momoi, and he's going to be related in some way to Danmomotaro. And since he shares the same last name as Danmomotaro, it's definitely seeming that there's going to be some sort of connection between the two of them. Either, probably some kind of like an adoption kind of connection if Danmomotaro is coming from the whole Peach and everything. There'll be some kind of relationship that they will have. But apparently he's going to be some kind of character that will kind of give them their tech kind of thing, which is interesting because I'm very curious how that's going to connect back to Zenkaiger's tech. But speaking of Zenkaiger, we had a special cast announcement that they had to reveal, which everybody knew what it was going to be if you had been following the leaks and, the rumors and all that stuff. The surprise, I guess, cast member that they announced, who is an official, main cast member, of course, the return of Zenkaiser himself. Kaito is joining the main cast, which we knew. So Kaito, Zenkaiser, is, I guess, not really returning. He's just not leaving. So he is a main cast member of Don Brothers. Now, the whole rumors and the leaks and everything have said that he will at least be a main cast member, or he'll be very prominent in the show at least until about June. So I'm not sure if Kaito will stay a permanent cast member the entire way through the show, but he will be a permanent cast member at least in the beginning. And so it seems like he's going to be kind of like the head of this cafe, sort of almost like he's following in the footsteps of the store that his grandmother has in Zenkaiger. So what's very interesting here is that we knew that Zenkaiser was coming back. We knew that he was going to have a new form, which we'll get into in a second, because we have finally gotten to see what Zenkaiser Black looks like, and I really want to talk about that. But the kind of character descriptions for Kaito that they've revealed and released, first of all, him looking like this, which I love this new look for Kaito, looking spiffy. But besides that, it seems like there's wording that makes it seem like this is going to be some other version of Kaito. Maybe the Don Brothers' world version of Kaito, or maybe something happens to Kaito. It's interesting because of the fact that Zenkaiger is not over yet, so we don't really know what, exactly what the bridge is going to be. Where is Kaito going to leave in Zenkaiger? How is he going to be at the end compared to where he's going to be at the start of Don Brothers? It's going to be a very interesting thing to see play out here, and I'm very excited to see what is going to happen, especially with his brand new form, Zenkaiser Black. So Zenkaiser Black, we had heard the name before, we had known that toys were coming out for this thing, but we had never gotten to see it until the press conference, and it definitely looks a lot different than I was expecting for a name like Zenkaiser Black. Being for a new form for a primarily white ranger, I was definitely expecting a lot more of the white to be black in this form. I know a lot of people were expecting this to be an evil form for Kaito. Neither of them really seem to be the case here. It's basically just a Zenkaiser suit with all of the rainbow design taken over by just dull, gray, black, monotone. It's like they sucked the color out of Danmomotaro, or Zenkaiser, which is really not what I was expecting. But I dig it. I really do like it. I especially love the gold changing to silver on there, or kind of the gray. It's pretty neat. I definitely see why it's called Zenkaiser Black with that kind of change. So lots of interesting things happening with this. So it has been said in his character description that he is an ally of the Don Brothers. So it does seem like when he is in this form, he will fight along with them. What's very interesting is what we've seen from this form in the trailer is he's holding up a Sentai gear, specifically the Ryu Soldier gear. I don't think that really matters specifically, but it is interesting. And this is during the line in the kind of trailer where he says something like Zenroku Zenkai, what is that? He doesn't recognize his catchphrase from Zenkaiger. So there's definitely something happening with Kaito here, which I'm assuming and hoping at least that will be some kind of result of whatever happens to him in the Zenkaiger finale, which is only a couple weeks away at this point. But definitely the most interesting I've ever really been in terms of, I'm just surprised that they're doing this kind of thing, that, Don Brothers is going to either have a storyline that's going to pick up from the end of Zenkaiger, because like I said, we don't know what's going to happen to him, or at least will have something to do with the end of it probably, or at least start a new storyline that will follow that. You know what I'm saying. So this is cool. But of course, before we head over to the toy stuff that happened last night, we have a couple more cast announcements, and that is for our villains. So we're going to be getting a kind of villain ranger-esque sort of team as our main antagonists, at least at this point in the show. This is pretty cool. So we're gonna have 3 Ranger-like, they're not really Rangers, they're definitely a little bit more monstrous, but you know, they're kind of like a Psycho Ranger kind of thing, or what is it, Neji Ranger from Sentai's counterpart. So these are cool. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen with them in terms of merchandise, if they're gonna get Yudo figures, if they're gonna get something for premium, if they're gonna turn good eventually and get like more proper, you know, typical Ranger forms or something, even though this season is definitely not doing that necessarily. So these are Sonoi, Sononi, and Sonosa, so I think that's how I'm supposed to say them. But it's just a trio of villains here that have kind of a like orange, kind of purple and white color scheme for this team. So very, very different from like a typical kind of thing. So I'm very intrigued by these. I like the character designs, the suits look really cool. I hope to get figures of them in some capacity, even though I think Yudo would be the only line that would do it. And the actors look really cool with these contacts that they have going on here. You can definitely see them. Once you notice them, you really kind of can't stop noticing them, in my opinion. But it just that kind of adds to the kind of evil look that they all have, which didn't expect that kind of thing to happen for this. So that is pretty cool. And I know a lot of people have been focusing on that in the timeline, on Twitter and everything, you know, talking about these evil Ranger suits and everything like that and what they could do in the show. And I'm right there with you. So after the press conference, Bandai dropped a couple more pictures of some of the different toys that we've already known about. These have been up for pre-order on Toku Collectibles since November, December. They've been up there for a very long time, but now we've finally gotten to see them. So we've already, of course, seen everything like the Dawn Blaster, the sword, all that kind of first batch of stuff. So we're not talking about any of that. I'm also not going to talk about necessarily the box photos of them, but they do have really, really pretty box photos. We didn't get to see those before, and we have been able to see them now. But the brand new toys we have pictures of are the Altars, the Avataro gear sets, and all of Zenkaiser Black's merchandise. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Zenkaiser Black, because his stuff is still really cool, but definitely not as important as some of the other stuff here. So Zenkaiser Black is going to get basically the same stuff that Zenkaiser did at the beginning of Zenkaiger. He's going to get the typical Sentai Hero Series vinyl figure, which is basically just a repaint of his original one from 2021. And he's also going to get a Change Hero Series figure, which is basically a repaint of the version of it from 2021. So the suit is not super complex, and so therefore it was a very easy thing for them to make figures and toys and stuff of. But what is very interesting about this, though, is that Zenkaiser Black here, at least in the Change Hero Series figure, is being shown using the gear cleaner. Of course, that does make sense for Kaito to continue to use a gear cleaner. However, what I would like to know is what gear is this going to be? You know, I can't see him transforming into this form with just his typical Zenkaiser gear, because you would think Bandai would like to sell us something. So we're not sure what activates this yet, and if something does, what it would be released in. Now we have the Avataro gear sets, which, oh boy, Bandai, oh boy. So they're going to make me buy a lot of gears this year. So we have 3 brand new types of gears, one of which we've already talked about. The other 2 we have finally gotten to see pictures of last night. So we had already seen the Avataro gears, the general idea of them from back in December. We saw this with the core team, we saw this with Zenkaiser. I haven't talked about them on the channel here yet, but there are the first 2 candy toy set lineups that have also been revealed, which I will be talking about more. If you guys followed my Sentai Gears info series that I did every single month in 2021 for the most part. Every month I basically just covered all the Sentai Gear news that we've had in the last month. That's going to be making a return next week, hopefully, if I can get that done in time, which will kind of be a recap of everything gear related, you know, kind of wrap up the Zenkaiger stuff before we move into the Don Brothers stuff. I'm going to continue that series. I'm just going to rename it from Sentai Gears to Avataro Gears, but it will still be like part 10 of that series. So stay tuned for that. That's kind of where I'll dive into the candy toy stuff a little bit more. So Avataro Gear Altars are going to be used to activate the kind of mecha for this show. There's not typical like Zords or mecha this year. There are these altars that we're going to be getting, which we're going to dive into a lot more here in a second, because we have the actual pictures of what the altars are and what they look like. So, but these sets basically are going to sprinkle in a couple of them occasionally here. So I have to assume that the gears, that the Avataro Gear Altars that come in these sets mean that there won't be like mecha altars, because the mecha altar toys themselves come with the Avataro Gear Altars that activate them. For example, you can see in the first set here, Damamotaro Altar. I guess that's not the best example, but that's how you're going to get that gear to activate that, and that does not come with the Damamotaro Altar. But you can see this especially in set 3, which has the Q Ranger and the Kira Major Gear Altars, and those don't actually have like Gear Altar mecha toys coming with them. So we don't know if they're they're actually going to get mechas or if they're just going to be like attacks in the like Megazord battles or whatever it's going to happen with that. So that's still kind of up in the air about what's going on there. But for what you can see from these pictures though is that the gear notch patterns on the altars are different from the ones on the regular Avataro gears. So the regular Avataro gears function the same way as the original Sentai gear counterparts of them did. The gold ones are coming from my wallet. So the gold ones are going to be the Robotaro gears, which, yeah, they're doing mecha ones now. We're doing that. So we can see this. The first one here is going to be Don Zenkaio, which comes in this set. It's been kind of heavily rumored that the Gashapon sets this year is where we're going to get a vast majority of the Robotaro gears. So, yeah, get ready for that. I'm sure we're probably going to get all the Sentai mecha to get one of these Robotaro gears. But since I'm not talking too much about the gears beyond that, we have the gear altars, or the altars themselves. So we can see here Don Momotaro altar, which is technically part of the Change Hero series figure line, just like Zenkaiser Black and all the other figures we've already seen. So this one is very interesting. The rumors had talked about it kind of being a Suika Arms from Gaim kind of form for Don Momotaro, and yeah, it certainly is that for sure. But then we can kind of see the full capacity of what these are going to do with the Tokuji Altar, which as you can see is very much based off of the red Resha from Tokuji with kind of like a guardrail attached to the back of it. And this is going to come with the Tokuji Avataro gear altar. So this is the only way to get this one as of right now. It is different from the just regular Avataro Tokuji gear that comes in one of the deluxe sets. So that's how they're getting all this different stuff spread all over the place. But you can take the Tokuji Resha altar thing and you can combine it with Don Momotaro to make this incredible looking thing, which very, very fun. And that's how this is going to work. We already know from the listings we are going to be getting a Zyuohger altar as well. It's going to have something to do with the cube animals and everything from that show. We haven't seen that yet. We also know that we're getting a fourth set of deluxe Avataro gears. We haven't seen what's in that yet. But you can already tell from these sets and also the promotional stuff on like the banners and on the toy boxes that basically while this is going to once again have a Legend Sentai aspect to its toy line and also to the show, the big component will be focusing on Gokaiger onwards. So Gokaiger onwards is on the banner, it's everything that's in these deluxe sets. As you can see, there's no gears from earlier than Gokaiger. The Gokaiger onwards are going to have special sounds on the Dawn Blaster to where they're going to have like their original change. So, you know, like Gokai Change, Let's Morphin, Gabarincho, all that kind of stuff for the Gokaiger onward ones. We don't exactly know what anything before Gokaiger is going to do in the Dawn Blaster. We know we're getting Avataro gears for those, but we might not get alter gears for them or something like that. So that could definitely be a possibility. We might only get alter gears for Gokaiger onwards, which are the blue ones. The Robotaro gears I assume we'll probably get for every Sentai, and same thing with regular Avataro gears. But yeah, we have new red gears to collect, we have gold gears to collect, we have blue gears to collect, we have these mecha to collect that interact with the Change Hero series figures. It's all connected. I mean, think of Don Momotaro Altar right there. It's part of the Change Hero series figures that can use gears and is also the mecha for the year. It's the exact epitome of everything that the toy line is right now for that. So lots and lots of crazy stuff here. So all of this stuff I talked about toy-wise is going to be coming out either at the beginning of March or the beginning of April. Most of it is beginning of March. The only things that are really April are like the third set of Avataro gears and stuff like that, so nothing too crazy there. And I will be leaving a link in the description below to my HLJ affiliates, so if you'd like to help me out or help the channel out by ordering any of this stuff from HLJ, whenever they put it up there, just check out that link. You can bookmark it. It's basically just the search results page for everything Don Brothers on HLJ, so when this stuff pops up, you can pre-order it, and if you do using that link, you can help out the channel a little bit, which is great because I need to pre-order this stuff as well, so I definitely need the support on that one. So this is a lot. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of really cool things, stuff I've never seen from Sentai before, and if I thought I was out of the gear collecting, I'm not even done. I'm not even half done at this point because we have an entire other year with 3 brand new types of Sentai gears to keep going with. And we still have a couple more trickling Sentai gears to come out that have not been announced or don't exist or whatever yet that we're waiting for. So lots and lots to dissect here with the show, with the toys, and I'd love to hear everything you guys have to say about it down in the comments below. Let's talk the show. Let's talk the toys. What are you picking up? Which characters are you waiting to see? Are you excited for this show? What do you think of its connections to Zenkaiger? All that stuff down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. So, of course, until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or at LightningFigPR. And once again, you can check out the full reaction to the press conference that me and my friends did last night. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Zenroku Zenkai? done, I guess. I gotta like mix the Zenkaiger ending and like make a Donbrothers one, so we'll work on that one. We'll workshop it, but I'll see you all later.